Ways to stay calm in an emergency. It is impossible to accurately predict how we will react during any given emergency. Even seasoned professionals like firefighters and nurses sometimes get overwhelmed and panic during a crisis. However, you can practice key skills now that give you a better chance of staying calm in a crisis and helping yourself and others. It is important to understand what happens to our body and brain in an emergency. During an emergency or traumatic event, our body goes into high alert. Large amounts of adrenaline and other stress hormones are released. These stress response chemicals increase our heart rate and breathing and reduce our ability to use the part of our brain that is typically responsible for logical thinking, planning, and decision-making. Because we are hardwired to react emotionally and instinctively during highly stressful events rather than logically and thoughtfully, we need to actively coach ourselves to calm down and focus. You cannot help yourself or others effectively if you are panicking. Here are 6 ways you can calm yourself down and slow down your breathing and heart rate during an emergency. Stand still. Unless there are urgent safety issues, stop and stand still while you practice one of the next 5 techniques. Slow your breathing with the 3-3-3 technique. Breathe in slowly to the count of 3, hold for 3 seconds, and then release slowly for 3 seconds. Repeat this sequence several times while saying the word calm to yourself as you exhale. In high-stress situations, we often breathe rapidly and shallowly, which can make us feel dizzy, confused, and panicky. Slowing down your breathing is one of the quickest and most effective ways to help yourself calm down. Count slowly to 10, as this can also slow your breathing and heart rate. Imagine a safe space bubble. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a quiet bubble of safe space surrounding you. Ground yourself by focusing on your senses. As you slow your breathing, ground yourself in the present moment by focusing on what you can feel, hear, and smell. And finally, number 6 is to remember others are watching you. Knowing that others are watching how you react can sometimes take the focus off your own panic and help you stay calm. In turn, your sense of calm will help others stay calm. After you feel calmer, ask yourself, what is the most important thing to do next? Do you need to get yourself or others to safety? Does anyone need first aid? Do you need to call emergency services? It is impossible to predict how you will react in any given crisis or emergency situation. However, to increase your chances of maintaining composure during a crisis, it is important to practice calming your stress reactions before an emergency situation occurs. What you practice can become second nature, which is why skills related to controlling your breathing and mindfulness can help you in emergency situations where you often act instinctively. Of course, you cannot practice and prepare for every emergency event, but you can practice for predictable emergencies, as well as practice techniques that can help you calm yourself in a crisis. For example, you, your children, and other loved ones should always know how to call emergency services where you live. What information will they likely ask for, such as your address or location? Where essential emergency items are located, such as an inhaler, EpiPen, fire extinguisher, or snakebite kit. Building exits where you live and work. Also, it is always a good idea to complete first aid training. Many of the calming techniques that will help you during an emergency need to be practiced regularly. Several apps that can help you practice deep breathing, mindfulness meditations, visualizations, and other calming techniques include Calm, Aura, and Headspace. Staying calm during an emergency involves preparing and practicing responses and strategies before the situation occurs, so that you react more predictably and rationally.